Greetings Librans, welcome to your reading with me for October 2019. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. October is quite a busy celestial month. We've got Mercury going retrograde and we have Pluto going direct in Capricorn, a full moon in Aries which could create a little bit of excitement, one could say, I'm sure. There's other celestial events that I haven't particularly gone into there, but I think October will still be just as kind of full on as we've found that September to be. These are just times of change at all levels for all living beings really, including Gaia herself. So as Gaia makes the changes, we too feel that through just the higher vibrational force field, through collective conscious energies that we're all part of and all one with. So anyhow, we're going to use these three different decks of cards for your reading, and I have done a few tapping into messages for you beforehand. Now, you kept receiving this about community and the number 2 or 3 that came in with that. So something about either being involved in a community or with a community of people, a reunion, females, partnerships, and then there was this saying and it said raining down on me, and I thought, does that mean raining down on your parade, or does it mean raining down on you in terms of, you know, just some sort of event or things that are taking place, that it feels like things are raining on you? And I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean lots going on. As well, you got this kind of message that came in. It said, kindness in words creates confidence, and kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. So those might be worthwhile thinking upon for the month as well. Just these little phrases that came up for you guys. So let's start with the John Holland Psychic Tarot. This is for Libra for the month of October 2019. What's in store for them, and what do you want them to know or focus on? Libra. The crown chakra, indeed, thinking upon things, being involved in the collective conscious, thinking of expansion, going out beyond yourself in terms of thought and connecting with the higher levels, or be beyond where you are currently thinking. So definitely expansion is what comes to mind when the crown chakra turns up. So it's at the very top of the head, and it does give off this violet type of light or energy. So that's the type of ray that's involved, the violet ray or the pink ray, which can often be associated with like an angelic vibration of Shamuel, which is about love. And we've talked about love a little bit there with, you know, the words that you got: community, reunion, females, partnership, and being in kindness and giving creates love as well. So let's just see. Also, there might be something going on with your head in the month of October. It could be a physical thing with your head. Some of you may find you have ear pain or eyesight issues or teeth even, or thyroid, anything within and around that head, headaches. Some of you may be getting visions, messages, dreams that are extremely clairvoyant or profound, or giving you some sort of awakening or awareness. You might be becoming more psychic or clairvoyant or aware of things yourself as well. So those might be some of the main messages, given that was the first card that came out for your reading. So for Libra, do we have any more from this deck for them for October 2019? It is definitely a place where we do receive a lot of our spiritual connection too, I think, and awareness of our celestial connection in life, or our celestial helpers, or that spiritual feeling and attainment. You've received the mental conflict, but it's upside down, which is the 2 of Swords, and mental conflict often means feeling unsure of a direction to take. Now, these are 2 here about the mind and in the head, and there's this little chunk missing out of this head here, you know, saying that there's this conflict or tension or something going on in the mind with you guys, which is what I sort of said with the crown chakra card. The Two of Swords reversed can be about partnerships and balance, and even when it's reversed, and it could be talking about going into some sort of partnership, so being ready to take the jump into a partnership. Now, whether this is a platonic partnership such as a business or work related, or even just part of this community that I had this feeling of having you guys being around, is a possibility. But it could also be some form of closer relationship, such as a romantic one or an interpersonal family relationship that is bonding together or being remended. It may relieve the mental conflict that is going on. So there may be some form of relief coming through the head when some conflict or tension has been repaired or resolved one way or another. So that's quite a good start for you guys. It's definitely about the mind, it's about the emotions at the moment. It seems to be about working on something or some sort of conflict and trying to possibly resolve it. This is a really important time right at the moment. I've mentioned this before, I think in September as well, but this timeline that we're in currently is setting our pathway up for the next 12 years. So how we tread and move forward and who with and what we do is very, very important in terms of our own benevolence and where we're headed and how we are going to treat ourselves and others. So if there's something that you do want to mend, or there's something that you want to sort out or get resolution with, now would be a really good time to deal with that, and it might relieve yourself of some sort of inner tension or disharmony as well as helping the other people involved in whatever this tension or conflict might be. So this is for Libra. What more do we have from this deck? Are we done? Sounds like we're at an auction bidding, you know, first bid, second bid. Are we final and done? Let's see. Looks like we haven't got much more action coming from this deck. I myself love this particular deck. It's one of my favourites, but we will move on to the next one for Libra. One more as a closing gesture. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so, you know, your messages were there quite clearly from that deck of cards. They want you to really focus on some form of communication, some sort of resolution, some sort of resolving conflict, or dealing with things that have been creating tension within yourself or your mind in particular, and bringing resolution to them. So there's a lot of stuff going on in your head. This is the throat chakra now, which is just down here, of course. The throat chakra is our point of communication. This is how we make communication in life. This is how we have relationships with people. You can't have a relationship without communication. So when communication fails, a relationship is going to fail. So seems to me that they're really talking to you quite firmly, and they wouldn't give any other cards out. It was very stiff, wasn't it, about what they were giving out. So they were wanting to have you really focus on resolving something that has either been causing you some sort of strife or inner strife or feelings of tension or conflict, and it could have been from the mind. That creates pain in a lot of other areas. It also creates blockages and lack of flow. Now, some of you may have something physical in your body that's going on in this month of October as well. So some of you may have things that you are dealing to at a medical level to do with the head, throat or neck. This could be minor operations. It could be, for some of you, it could be getting new glasses or having your hearing tested or having teeth done one way or another, or a thyroid operation, or finding out that you're thyroid deficient and you're going to take some sort of either naturopathy to increase your thyroid levels or get a prescription for thyroxine, something along those lines. If it's more along the lines of the mental perspective. Some of you may be wanting to look into therapy to clear some sort of blockage or some stress that has been with you. Now, this may have been stress that goes back to childhood for some of you. You may have gone through trauma as a child, and for some of you this even goes back to past lifetimes, and it might be coming through now, because as we are evolving and moving through this decade, actually not this decade but this century, we're coming into really fast timelines and shifting timelines, and this can create awakening awareness of other situations we may have been in or that our soul may have been in. So some of you might be awakening to feelings of trauma that have come through ancestral family lines, or your own soul trauma issues that might be coming up and awakening. And some of you might be wanting to go and get work done on that type of perspective as well. It seems a fairly intense bunch of messages that are just sweeping in these three cards. And the throat chakra coming out upside down as well could mean that you have had a lack of ability to want to speak, because you feel like maybe you can't say your truth, or that people aren't listening to your truth. That there is something you want to say but are afraid to say it, or that you are finding your truth finally and you are starting to become ready to speak and be the who you want to be. So for you guys, it feels, even though we're not getting many cards, it feels like the messages are very deep and they're very profoundly personal. You also might find that the colours pink and blue could be relative for you in terms of some sort of healing, or they might have a relative physical presence in your life one way or another. The pink and blue can be the pink and blue rays, of course, the angelic vibrational rays or the light rays that come in that could be beneficial for you. It can often be considered that Archangel Michael's energy, the great protector, can be the blue ray energy. So perhaps you can call upon him to help increase your ability to communicate or speak your truth or be heard. Also to free any blockages up for some of you who might have wanted to utilize a creative force to enable you to move forward in your creative perspectives or abilities or careers one way or another. You might want to buy some crystals that are blue or pink. The classics are like the blue lace agate. There is angelite as well for blue, which is over here. There's sodalite, and of course there's lapis lazuli, which is here. And there's one that has been piquing my interest for several days. It's a beautiful blue stone. This is kyanite. I particularly love it, and I often call it kryptonite by mistake, but it's kyanite. So it doesn't retain negative vibrations or energies. It aligns all chakras and subtle bodies. It provides balance of yin-yang energy and dispels blockages, moving energy gently through the physical body. So there's some of the blue stones that some of you might like to have with you in the month. And the pink stones that are most common, of course, are the rose quartz, this one, which is pink thulite. Then there's this one, which is pink opalite. I've just got this one yesterday, which seems to have quite a lot of pink in it. I have to look into that and see which one it is. But there's a variety of different crystals that you might want to embellish your month with and put them in rooms where you feel they could be beneficial for you, in your bedroom or perhaps a living room or an office where you're working, to help bring this free-flowing creativity. So those were just some of the messages that arrived for you with those particular cards and stones. Let's see what this deck has in store for Libra. This is for Libra for October. Angel of Strength, Angel of balance, blossoming abundance, and adjacent possibilities. So while we had been just talking about the angelic vibrational energies, you've got another couple coming in, balance, and of course balance is also representative in this Two of Swords over here. So another message for you about bringing balance in and regaining your strength, which is what the reversed Two of Swords was talking about. Finding that balance is coming back to you, and with that you regain some personal power and freedom and strength. So these cards have reiterated that. And the blossoming abundance, it is actually a beautiful card, and in it, if you look closely enough, you can actually see coins in various places. So there's some coins in and around here. So the blossoming of abundance is not just spiritual blossoming or feeling of some sort of perhaps peace or freedom. It appears to be there's some form of physical monetary manifestation that might be possible for some of you as well. And this could come about through this rebalancing over here or freeing up of energy that may have been taking itself down a pathway of the career field for some of you. So although this could have been interpreted as personal issues, these personal issues may also be associated in the paradigm of work for some of you. The adjacent possibilities, I really like this card when it turns up. It tells us to keep on this path of expansion, which we mentioned a little bit at the beginning. And it says there are other opportunities if you look a little further afield or try a little bit harder and open some other doors. So let's just see if we can get any more messages of that or from that card about these adjacent possibilities, what we might be talking about or looking at here for Libra. And again, remember, this is a general reading, so these adjacent possibilities could represent many different things for many of you. Anxiety. Anxiety is what we've talked about over here, that some of you may have been feeling anxiety for some time, one way or another, or anxious about a certain dynamic or perspective that's going on in your life. And for some of you, it has been about talking or getting your truth out or being able to speak with freedom, and whether or not that's around relationships or just a direction that you want to go in your life, full stop. The anxiety may be that you are a little bit afraid to try other possibilities or opportunities that could be around, and you are, hesitant about it. So that's why regaining your strength can be very empowering, because once we have strength, the anxiety dissipates into the background. So it seems as though you could be having swings of energy or, swings of feelings or thoughts or directions during this month. There could be periods where you're feeling quite strong or uplifted or sure or certain, and then I think there are periods of this uncertainty, and that comes about when we find ourselves with more possibilities than we either anticipated or expected, and that can create this feeling of anxiety and a wee bit of the mental conflict. Just remember to go back to the feeling of your higher self for answers and connection. Call upon any of the celestial helpers or the energy of them that is around for the month, and open this door to spirit. So you've got a couple of doors that have appeared. Are there changing doorways for some of you? Is this an opportunity to move something, like shift it up, move it out, move it around, turn it up? That's why I'm getting the feeling of this whole, sort of semi-indecision in the instance over here, and a lot of stuff on your mind about these decisions that you're having to make or directions that you're going in. It's personal, guys. You have to, you have to dig a little bit deeper yourself to find the resolve about what is the right thing at this point in time and which is the right direction for you. And I think too, when we see adjacent possibilities, we generally know that you've got many options coming, right? So there's choices for you to make, and that's when we know that anxiety can come in, because choices can sometimes create anxiety. But there's caring connections, and so that's a little bit like the Lovers card, and we talked about that in the very beginning for you guys, saying there could have been a reunion for some of you, that females one way or another may play a role in your life. and partnership came in. And here we have caring connections, and there's a partnership happening. This caring connections can be people around you who do care for you one way or another, and they want you to know that. So you've either got people around you already who you can call upon for support, or maybe there's going to be a reunion of a caring connection for some of you. It might be someone you haven't seen for a while, and it might be that you're teaming up with them again. Now, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be platonic friends who were part of a community, because that word community kept coming in. And sometimes the number 3 keeps showing up with this community for you. For others of you, there is a potential for a new caring connection to be formed or made. So that's a really, beautiful message coming in there in the terms of love, because no matter whether it's platonic or intimate, it's a love relationship. And maybe that's partly what these adjacent possibilities are as well, that you may not have looked into. So we will move into just this last deck for you to see if there are any final messages for Libra for October 2019. Remembering, as I said, guys, I think October is a worthy month of really going into your soul and doing some contemplative thinking about what you want to do as you head into 2020. These are the crunch months of sort of setting that alarm clock and the direction that you want to take. Yes, we can always change direction once we've started down a path, but it is immensely harder and more difficult to make those changes when we're halfway through a destination. So I'll just retrieve that. It has fallen on the floor. Daydreaming is a lovely thing, especially good for finding freedom after being blocked or having a blockage. And we've talked a little bit about having seen some blockages in here. And again, what we daydream through the mind. So this is another card about the mind, similar to these 3 that came over here. And when we daydream, we can find creative flow or thoughts that come to us from a higher perspective through our crown chakra. And it's really quite significant that if you come up with any ideas and concepts and pathways forward to do with your career or your soul journey, write them down so that you can diarize them and journal them and then go back and read them at later points or expand on them. So it's a great way of creating and forming expansion. So just a last one here for Libra to finish off the reading for October. Oh well, they turned face up, so they must want to come out. Nice card, trustworthy guidance. It actually just says, a little bit like the daydreaming, he is receiving thoughts through his mind or through his celestial awareness or collective conscious, or his ability to hear the messages that are coming in, and he is writing them down. And that's the same thing that daydreaming can do for us. So it says you've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. And we talked over here again about these ideas or thoughts or something that is going on in your mind. So focus on the positives and know that for some of you there's a great ability here to perhaps move forward with something really positive and creative as you step into this next decade of life. So extrapolate those thoughts out, listen to ideas coming in, even if they're through synchronistic conversations with other people. They could be very, ingenious for yourself to uplift as well. Yeah, it says be open to receiving support for anything that you need related to this idea. Perfect timing and ask. These are quite relatively simple cards, but I love their little messages. They're just so delicate and easy to uplift and understand. It says it's perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. So get that creative juice flowing, Libra, and get your thoughts into action and kick them into overdrive, if you like. It looks as though this could be a good time to move on from anything that has been stuck or lacking or causing confusion or discombobulation. And don't forget to ask for what you want. Ask the universe for, you know, if you want more financial success, or if you want better health, or if you want more understanding or awareness of your soul journey, or if you want more romantic love, or if you want more platonic love. Ask for it. What's the old saying? Ask and you shall receive. So don't forget to ask. So there we are, Librans. Quite a nice reading for you guys. I think hopefully it will help clear some blockages you've had, or been stuck on a certain subject or in a certain direction and felt frustrated. Because this is a really good time to open up and push forward. So thanks again, guys, for listening. Check your moon and rising signs out, because there'll be different readings for you in there, and some of them could be really helpful as well. Please sub the channel and hit the notification button. That way you'll get notified when I do upload the videos. So everyone, I wish you the very best for October ahead. May you all be inspired, freed up in the mind, ready to charge forward with your own personal strength and integrity at the front line of your decision making. Much love, everyone. Namaste.